Essentially, you're going to be funny enough that the audience who saw your act would go to work the next day, get around the water cooler and say, "Hey man, you see that guy in the comedy show? He was hilarious, wasn't he?" I did not win the contest. I got second place. I got second place due to technical difficulties. I did my act, which involved a bit of stand-up comedy, and at the end of it, I let everybody know that I also belly dance. And then I had a tearaway sports shorts on, not shorts, but the long pants. Tore them away. Underneath, I had a full coin belt, a belly dance skirt, I had my shawl, and I did a full dance number. And I danced. And I danced. And the only belly dance move I remember was the fact that when you want to move your hips, you imagine standing in the middle of a very large vase, and you put your hips to the side, and you just circle that vase, and you just circle that vase. And honestly, a big black man who's doing this is all it takes to audience erupt. But when my song came on to play, the system messed up.
Oh.
The music didn't start, so I'm standing there like this. It doesn't play. Eventually the music plays, I do the thing, crowd it up, straight up. The guy who won also had technical difficulties, but his were on purpose. He had actually recorded his speech, his monologue, his comedic monologue, and then it skipped. Because he was lip syncing his entire act. And this was right around the time that Ashley Simpson had her whole big lip syncing scandal when she was on SNL, and it messed up and it was a big deal. They loved it, it erupted. We both won a chance to do the stand-up comedy at the Ontario Improv, take classes to be a stand-up comedian. And I'm like, I'm a funny guy. People tell me I'm funny. We like to have conversations. We like to laugh every now and then. Probably because I'm silly and I'm random, right? But maybe I can do stand-up comedy. So I take the class, and he's in the class as well. And we go through the entire program, and we both graduate and do our stand-up comedy. And I realize in that moment, I'll give it a shot, but if my passion's not in there, I always say my life isn't dark enough to be a stand-up comedian. Every stand-up comedian I've ever met has told me some god-awful horror story. Terrible horror, like real deep, dark shit. I don't have none of that in my life. I don't know what I'm gonna, if that's what drives it, I don't have that. I'll find it elsewhere. But what it did do is it put me in the realm of the guy who won. And the guy who won, his name was Moondoggie Johnson. His government name was Quentin Larson. But he was a member of an improv troupe called the Swinging Johnson Brothers. Now, I don't know if you know this, and this is universal, so I'll explain it to you. Johnson is a nickname for your penis. The Swinging Johnson Brothers. That's what the name of our improv troupe was. And when you joined this improv troupe, you had to take on a Johnson name. You became a Johnson brother. Now I do say brother in quotation marks, because we did have female members who were also Johnson brothers as well. Now I love the puns as much as the next guy, but I'm not really great at coming up with my own. My comedy is much more in your face and very direct. So I became, suggested, Big Sexy Johnson. Exactly that. Everything that implies it. As I became a local celebrity, I'm getting known as Big Sexy, and I'm really liking the way that sounds. It's resonating with me. I'm also an aspiring hip-hop artist. So I live in the world of Snoop Dogg's and Ice Cube's and Method Man's and people who are known by their stage name and we don't know their government name. Oh, I can do that too. I'm also an actor, so I'm aware that John Wayne is not his name. Marilyn Monroe is not her name. Whoopi Goldberg is not her name. that she was born with, but that they created in this sense. And I went, oh, I can do that too. I can be Big Sexy. I did realize that I could not be Big Sexy Johnson. No matter what, that's a dick joke no matter how you color. And if I wanted to be taken seriously, and anybody who knows me, and there's quite a few people in here who know me, know that I take the name Big Sexy seriously. I don't operate as a joke, as a ha ha ha. My name is Big Sexy. Ha 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 ha. No, that's who it is. That's who I am. 2009, I decided to move to Las Vegas, and I said, you know what? I'm going to leave my Johnson in California, and I'm just going to be Big Sexy. The way Cher is Cher, Prince is Prince, Madonna is Madonna. I'm just going to be Big Sexy. And that's it. I decided to become Big Sexy. And let me tell you something. And people who have been around me and experienced me, or if somebody new, hearing my name for the first time, they get to be next to me and see the same reactions I get every single day. And it's my favorite reaction. It's hi, my name is Joe. Hi, my name is Big Sexy. What? Yeah, not everybody. But it happens. It happens. I have plenty of stories. My lovely wife is in the house, Nilla. When we first met, I told her my name was Big Sexy. She said, I'm not calling you that. I'm not. I'll call you BS. And of course my response is that my name was Brian Smith. Those would be my initials, so please call me whatever you like. But my name is Big Sexy. I didn't shy away from it. I didn't back away from it. Because by then, it is who I am. And there is power in being who you are. I would like to play a game if you all are willing. If I can have everybody, no, we can stay seated. Be comfortable. We don't need to stand up and get all out of comfort zone. We're going to start by just playing a simple name game. Very simple. We're going to start here. You're going to look at the person next to you. You're going to make clear eye contact. And all you're going to do is you're going to say your name. As simple as that. Okay? And then you're going to turn, say your name. And it's going to go around the table to here. You're going to flip around. You're going to say it back. You're going to go there. You're going to go back. You're going to yell your name all the way across to the back over here. Say your name, say your name. Mike, you're going to say it last, and then you're going to give it right back to me, okay? Okay. You all got that? Clear how that's going to go, and I'll direct it. Don't worry about it. Here we go. All right. Start here.
Morning. Your name?
Beverly. Here. Michelle.
Ray.
Jenna. Michelle.
Mike!
Very good. Give them a round of applause. What I love about that exercise is very simple. We all know our name. Now, when I play that game in my improv class, there are two more levels to it. The next one is you repeat the name that you heard. Right? So you repeat the name back to the person, turn and say your name. I always promise at the beginning of that improv game that by the end of it you will forget your own name. Because oftentimes you're hearing so many names, you turn and you'll say the name of the person you're looking at, or you say the name that you just heard. No, that's not your name. Right? The third level is you actually do remove yourself. You say the name of the person you're looking at. And you make eye contact. And you say the name of the person you're looking at. And by that time, you've heard their name about 5, 6 times. So you know it. You at least know what that person wants to be called. And you're aware of it. And it's funny, every time we do an improv game and Mike is there, Mike chooses a different name every time.
Guilty.
The first time, I didn't allow it. And then, I corrected myself. How dare I tell somebody else what their name is? All I said was, tell me your name. Whatever it is, tell it to me. I was taking my power subconsciously as an instructor, realizing that we're in a world where people will take your power. They will. They won't let you be who you are. And who you are is powerful. There is power in being who you are. But society does not want you to be who you are. They want you to be who they want you to be. So when I decided to name myself Big Sexy, I was like, fuck y'all. I'm taking my power. I'm owning my name. No matter who you are, no matter where you're from, no matter what context we meet each other, I will always tell you my name is Big Sexy. I had regular jobs that would not let me be Big Sexy at work. Fair. I understand HR is a thing. I'm aware of that. And people have uncomfortability with the word sexy. Okay, fine. At work, you will be allowed to call me James. I clock out, you don't ever call me James. I won't respond. There have been times my wife who calls me James, occasionally, will say James, and I won't hear it right away. There's also sometimes they'll call me Big, and I won't hear that either. But that's because I'm a husband. That might be honest. I'm a man. Right? But I always encourage people, as we did this game, none of you created a different name. You said the name that you're comfortable with, that you're raised with, that you've been going off your entire life, and you've enjoyed it. The other part of my empowerment is that I'm very comfortable in being silly. Very comfortable. Let's do one more exercise. At this moment, let's have everybody on the count of 3 make a very silly face and a very silly noise. All right, here we go. 1, 2, 3. Wonderful. When I said to do that, how many guys felt a little bit reluctant or nervous or held back? And it's okay if you do. That is mainly because you have been subjected to the idea and the lie that you have to live your life based on other people's reaction to it. Society has metaphorically and oftentimes literally beaten us down to the idea that somehow being silly is wrong. It's not. You're allowed to be silly. You have the freedom to do so. You could have been as silly as you wanted, as big and bold and loud and as crazy as you wanted, and you actually were given the permission to do so. And I would argue to say you did not need to be given permission to do so.
What if they didn't want to be extravagant?
Of course not. And why wouldn't you want to be extravagant and big? Just not in the mood?
She's introverted.
Quiet anyways.
Right.
So,
Not everybody has to be big and loud and bodacious and extremely silly. But having the ability to do so is where the power lies. No, you cannot